Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Sporting160EN podcast, the After Hours edition, the North America edition, number 164 after a tough loss. But let's get to the panel first, starting off with Christian. Chris, how you doing, bro?
Doing good, man. Yeah, Sporting160EN, After Hours, the banter era. We alluded to the banter era potentially being back on the last episode. Confirmed back. Yeah, let's sadly talk about what went down.
Facts. And also joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the patron, Steph. Steph, how you doing, bro?
Not doing so good. We lost again. I think this season it's been 6 games that we've lost. So that's too many games for our Sporting, but we'll talk about it.
Facts. Be sure to follow those two boys on the handles that I just gave up. Special shout out to Sam, to me, and most importantly to the podcast page. All right, let's start first with the game, and then we'll get on to the questions. I'm sure the questions have a lot to do with the game as well. But so starting off, so let's go with the 11. No goal point today, but we had Franco Israel in net with Gonçalo Inácio, José Marça, and Mateus Reis at the back line. Pedro Porro and Nuno Santos as the fullbacks. Murita, Sotiris in the midfield with Trincão, Paulinho, Marcus Edwards up top. Substitutions of Ugarte, Fatawu, Rochinha, Pot, and the return of Jovan. Steph, I'm going to start off with you, dude. What were your thoughts on this game?
So to tell the truth, I didn't get to watch the game. I was away with the Navy
You're
drilling.
very fortunate.
Good job, bro. I'm so happy for you.
I had no time to watch the game. I did watch the highlights, which was nothing fantastic. From what I could tell, Sporting again crossed a lot of balls, long balls, with no intent. And when you go that way, which is not our style to play, you're not going to win games. Plus, we definitely accusing the absences of Mateus Nunes, Pelinha, and a name that I haven't heard people talk about it, but he scored 24 goals last year, Sarabia.
Yeah.
Nobody can put the ball back in the back of the net. That's our major problem. We construct enough players to score the goals, but we don't score the goals. We control games. We play well, so to speak. But when you don't put the ball in the back of the net, it shows your weaknesses. So our opponents, when they play with us in a lower block and counterattack, they're eating us alive. Our defense all of a sudden used to be solid. Now it's very fragile. Coates is hurt. And now he's getting older, so it's gonna take time for him to recover. Zgaio, I don't want to be part of the debacle of putting him down all the time, but he's been pretty consistently bad. And Ruben Amorim, I don't agree with him in putting him on the pitch all the time. Sometimes it's better to protect the player by not putting him on the pitch. And he's done the opposite. I understand 1-2 games, but not 3, 4, 5 games. He kind of burned Zgaio, if anything. The fans hate him. So I foresee Zgaio either in the winter market to be gone.
Has Zgaio asked to sit the game, Steph? You have a take on that?
Yeah, good. And that was a good assessment because mentally definitely affected. And then the just I'm highly disappointed. He's hurt all the time. Nowadays, these footballers they feel a little pain. They sit down on the pitch and that's it. They're done. To me, it's kind of happening at Sporting way too much. I don't know what kind of players we have. They're kind of very sensitive in a way. All these injuries all of a sudden they're happening. And to me, it's not making sense. Something is not clicking. I've seen the backstage, the Sporting, and when I see them train, I don't see anything amazing. They train like they're jogging and nothing intensive. And I think that's part of the problem. It's we don't want it as bad as we wanted when we won the championship 2 years ago. We're just walking around and no intensity, no fire. And against Varzim won because they wanted the game more. Of course, they had a little bit of luck, but luck is part of the game. And this moment,
I'm gonna be honest. They didn't really have that much luck, to be honest. Like they could have scored, and they did score.
But we could have scored too. I didn't like.
We could have scored too. It could have gone to extra time, which would still be a shit house, to be honest.
But I just gave you basically a grand picture of the whole season instead of Varzim. And Varzim is just part of the debacle. Against Marseille, we lost pretty badly. And I don't agree with our stupid president. He's an ignorant. That's not how you behave as a leader. You don't motivate your troops by saying they have the double of the investments. It's not the way it is. Anyway,
weak mentality. Mentality.
This season, I don't even think we'll win Taça da Liga. Never mind the championship. That's all.
Well
said, stuff. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of alluded to it a second ago, but Varzim definitely had when was their goal? Like the 70th minute?
Yeah.
Like 60th minute-ish. You could feel it brewing. They kind of like took initiative in the game, had a flurry of chances. We really obviously weren't creating that many chances or looking that dominant, and it felt like it could come. And it kind of came in a weird goal. Paulinho assist, back post, kind of unlucky. I don't even know if he could have really done better. If it's just a little bit too high, or if it would have been better off just letting it go. I honestly don't know. But it felt like it was coming, and then it did. And then honestly, we just never really broke them down, like to the extent that should have happened against a team that just got relegated from the second division last season. It was sad, honestly. Happy for them, to be honest. They have a decent little fan base, so I am happy for them. 8 Primera Liga clubs lost in that round. Yeah. So we were one of 8 teams that got upset from the first division. So that's half the division is already out. So yeah,
and Benfica were so close, bro. They went to penalties.
Little clubs. So Benfica were so close. They could have also been joining us as the 9th club. So fucking close. They're by the skin of their teeth. And yeah, I mean, maybe we could have shithoused it and gone to overtime, but that's still not good enough. Some pathetic scenes at the end. Poro's freak out from the bench is absolutely pathetic. The dude literally got hit in the face with a shot, full power. Not even the right. Like if he was diving or being a fucking loser in another situation, like maybe you could freak out like that. But bro, he literally got drilled in the face. Plus they're winning. It's like, dude, of course he's gonna lay it down for a minute or so. Mateus Reis flopping, trying to draw something on them. What would have been a PK or anything. It was in our box. So he's just flopping, grabbing his face at nothing. Embarrassing. Rashinga tries to dive for a PK at the end. No VAR. See if he can trick the ref with a little Taremi. Good effort, son, but still pathetic. Imagine if we got that PK and that's how we tied the game, a dive PK with no VAR review.
You would have been killed.
Good for the ref, man. Good for the fucking ref.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have much else.
Yeah.
Other than, Ruben Amorim scolded the players and put them in line. Sotiris got called out on the cover. Dude, he fucking laid into Sotiris, bro.
Sotiris got called out for being a 6 and not playing like an 8. which is ridiculous. Maybe if he came from Braga, he wouldn't get called out like that. Listen, I hear you guys when you guys commend these Gayu for wanting a break when it comes to because of his mental health and everything, and I hear it. But if you're good enough for Marseille, you're good enough for Varzim. And I think the quicker you're on the pitch, the better it is to recover from a fuck up. We've seen it with Adan. Adan fucked up against Marseille. He came against Santa Clara and basically won us the game.
Especially against in theory, the most shite team we're gonna play.
I know,
all season.
but
third division club.
I know,
exactly.
But the difference with this Gayu, he's been playing bad consistently for several games, so he needed to take a break.
That's also true. He's been shite for a while.
I'm with you. But he's not even on the bench. He's not even on the bench.
I'm glad he didn't play against Varzim because then he would have been again the scapegoat. It would have been for sure. They would have blamed him. So I'm glad he didn't play. You know, we have to talk about the obvious. The obvious is our defense this year decided to take a long-term vacation.
Yeah, every single one of them, including Yishgayu.
Listen, Inaci's he's been playing shitty. The only one from defense that's been consistently, it's Nuno Santos, which he goes, he's un vai-vem. He plays left wing. And Mateus Reis, even him this year, he's not as consistent as last year. Coates, is getting older, so full of injuries. And D-Just, I don't even count him in. I miss, you know who I miss? Luis Nets.
Mm-hmm. He's also injured.
Yeah, he's hurt, but with him, he's more consistent.
No, it's true. It's true.
I know. It's like I almost don't even count Saint Just. I don't even count on him. It's like he's just a nice little bonus for 20 minutes if you can get it every now and again.
But Chris, we paid $9 million for this guy.
I know, it's bad.
Holy
That's
crap.
bad.
And this administration and Amorim, they protect him so much. I would rather play Ushik Lemba, one of our prospects.
Yeah. I mean, even in this game, Renato Veiga, Flavio Nazinho, Diago Travassos were all there to
nobody came in.
Potentially get subbed in. Yeah, none of them came in.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about Jovan. What do you think of Jovan, Danny? I actually thought he brought a little spark to the game. He had one shot that was decent. He had like one created opportunity. He only was out there for like 7 minutes or so.
Yep. At least maybe 10. We'll say 10 with extra time.
Bro, it was but for like effectiveness, bro. But it was something. Yeah. It was it was something new.
I thought he came in too late. I thought he brought more than Paulinho.
Yeah, he might. If he was gonna do that, he might as well come in at like 75. Yeah.
I agree. I'm not trying to scapegoat Paulinho too, but it's funny how we're all overlooking the Paulinho assist. My favorite part of that is he assists the ball. Fair enough. You're not trying to play it into the direction of the player. It's the offside. No, fuck. Like that's like the first time we've seen it from Paulinho, right? Paulinho misses an open net. He's looking at the grass. You know what I mean? It's frustrating.
It's a classic. It's a classic.
Facts, and it's frustrating because we have a coach that says the only reason these players are attacked is because they come from Braga. And I'm not even going to say that they're attacked because of the price tag. They're attacked because they're not performing well.
Yeah. It's nothing to do with Braga. Nothing.
Yeah, that was lame. Last week or two of Amorim's press conferences have been some of his weakest performances yet. I'll be honest.
Indeed. Very, very poor.
The standard was very high, but I haven't really liked it that much.
And I get it. You're there to defend the players as a manager, right? Especially as an ex-player, you want the manager to take all the bullets for you. But it's the excuses that are a little ridiculous. It's again, it's Varzim. Like, hold your hand up and say, like, we lost. We had Paulinho out there. We had Edwards, Trincão. It's not like we rotated all that much. We had Pedro Porro. We were linking Pedro Porro to Real Madrid. Fair enough. He's coming back from an injury. But this is a team that should be winning these games. And Steph, you said it, and you're 100% right. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Gonçalo Inácio this year, but he's a shell of what he was last year.
Capitan Inácio. In this
Who
game.
else would you give captain? I mean, I would give captain to Nuno Santos maybe instead of Inácio.
He was not really a commanding,
sturdy presence. I've never seen Inácio talk on the pitch.
Hey, listen, it's not only, I mean, it's not only Inácio. Porto's been shitty too, and then
Pot, man. Oh, dude, it's painful, man.
it
Trincão is getting to that point a little bit too, but Pot is painful.
And then it makes you wonder: is Fernando Santos actually?
There's no fucking shot he's gonna get.
But now,
that's what I mean. Is Fernando Santos actually correct in not calling them?
But now it's like
yes. Why would he bring Gonçalo Inácio to the World Cup? What is the point of that? What was the point of that?
Not only Gonçalo Inácio, why Pot?
Pot. Diogo Jota just went down. You know,
exactly.
It's like
if Pot wants a chance, he needs to step up now because Jota's out.
But he's not stepping up. That's what I mean.
No.
There's no Jota and there's no Rafa, so I'm with you, Steph. He's not stepping up. But if he wants to get picked on the World Cup, he has to, or else they're taking Gonçalo Ramos. And who else? And fucking probably maybe Gonçalo Guedes from Wolves.
Yeah, Guedes will go. Maybe Podence even will get to go now too.
Yeah, I didn't mention this to talk about the national team. It's more that our players at this point in time, they don't deserve to be called by the national team. If they're not playing well in their club, why would they be called for the national team?
We can't even vouch for them now, you know.
When
they don't get when they don't get called up, we can't be like, "Oh my god, it's like they don't deserve
there's no place to the national team. Inácio, forget about it, not even the sub-21. And who's the other one that usually gets called?
I mean, you could make a case for Trincão. It was about a month ago. There was a story that he was trying to get called up. Yeah,
Trincão, forget about it. He's still stuck in Barcelona or something.
That's it. All our. No, I mean Trincão had his moments, but Trincão. It's tough to buy Trincão and expecting a 22-year-old to replace what Sarabia did last year, an experienced player. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's just. I also feel like maybe Amorim, and I will defend Amorim to the end of me. I don't know how you guys feel about it. We'll get into it soon. I will defend Amorim, but I feel like Amorim is really burning out Trincão because even in this game, he took out Marcus Edwards instead of Trincão. Like he never takes out Trincão. Trincão starts almost every single game, and there's been great Trincão performances. There's been bad Trincão performances.
Great shots from time to time.
Exactly, but then there's also these performances where I don't remember a single thing Trincão did against Varzim, and I love Trincão personally. I'm
lost
glad
the ball, man. The problem with Trincão is I think he loses possession far too often.
Yeah,
it's an issue. He's really careless with the ball, and sometimes he'll pull off a good run, beat 2-3 guys, but it happens at too low of a percentage for him to be taking as many guys on as he does.
Agreed. And my point that I was bringing up Isgayu for was I think the Fatawu substitution was good because I liked what I seen from the kid when he came in. Still very
I
raw.
kind of liked him too, yeah.
I don't think he's going to ever solve us the game, at least not now, not this season. But I did like what he did. He's just playing too far back. He's not a right wing back. I think if we had Isgayu, Fatawu, the Ghanaian kid.
Yeah, no, he's a winger. I mean,
he's a winger. He's not a right wing back. I mean, if anything, to play Trincão there, let Fatawu have the space up top. But you know, because we don't have Vishtevs anymore because he barely plays in Estoril as it is. He didn't want to play Travassos, so he clearly doesn't have the confidence he has with him. Porto had to come out. I'm assuming because he's just still coming back from injury. Why? I don't care what Isgayu tells you. Why is Isgayu not coming off the bench at least? At least just for that solidity. Maybe he has a good game. Maybe he gets an assist. Isgayu was one of our top assisters last year. He's in horrible form. I'm not doubting that. I don't think Isgayu has a spot at Sporting. But at this point, you know, it's the same way we did with Adan. Adan fucked off a game against Marseille. He won it against Santa Clara. Give the guy at least some minutes. The longer he is off the pitch, the worse it gets, in my opinion. I've never been a soccer player, but from what I've seen, usually.
No, not when it comes.
You think he's gonna play? Do you think?
No.
Is he gonna play against Casapia?
No way. If he's not playing against,
is he gonna be on the bench?
I don't want to see him on the bench.
Is he gonna be on the bench? Is he gonna be on the bench though?
Why? If he's not ready to be on the bench for Varzim, a third division team, he shouldn't be on the bench against fourth place Casapia. Attention, fourth place.
I'm going to be drastic with this. Isgayu is done for the season.
I agree. But then who's his backup?
It's possible.
We have no
Ben
other.
Simmons mode now, to be honest.
We loaned out his backup.
Listen.
So who's his backup?
The backup has to be. I would put. Agora estou me esquecendo do nome dele.
Fatal was his backup.
No. From
St. Just can play right back.
from the under 19, he plays for the B team. I'm forgetting his name. I'll get it, but he's actually shown that he could maybe a possibility. I'll get the name, but go on.
Now I'm curious. Hold on. I'm just searching up the under 19s right now.
I'm doing the same.
Anyways,
I can see he's a popular name. I think his grandfather played at Sporting.
yeah, it's Travassos, right?
Travassos. I would play Travassos. I would give him a chance.
He was on the bench.
He's good defending. He's not so good attacking. But if he could at least defend, that would be great. Because this guy can't even defend.
Yeah, that actually used to be the catch. True. It was like, oh, he's not that great going forward, but he's a solid defender.
Yeah, that's all he had, man. He doesn't even have that.
Yeah,
he kind of had a cross in him too for like one season or two, but that's gone. That's all gone.
Yep. Yeah, bad. Anything else to say about this game, guys? No. Listen, if we didn't suffer in the 70th, we could have suffered in the 50th. That's the only other memory I have.
We've lost to a third division team. What two of the last 4 years?
4? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Impressively bad.
It's embarrassing. Yeah. And I don't care what Ruben Amorim says. It's embarrassing. Mm-hmm. And this one is on him. He didn't prepare the team well.
So let's get into this then, because there's been a lot of debate. I was actually trying to get it on our page here, but I can't find it. Amorim in, or should we sack Amorim and look for other options, or give him until the end of the season? Steph, I'll start with you because we discussed it a bit last podcast.
I would say give him until the end of the season.
It probably costs so much money to fire him.
Yeah, but it's not about that. It's not actually so much money because I think he has maybe 6 months left or 8 months. Something like that?
No, like a year and a half. He still has another year.
So a little bit less, I think. Maybe a year. So I would let him finish the season, and I would tell him, listen, let's start using our youth. Let's start developing next season. This season is done. I hate to be so pessimist.
It reminds me of 2017, 18, I think it was.
Especially when he said...
I think it was 17, 18, bro. Those league games felt meaningless by, like, February.
He said it himself. They're not going to reinforce anything in the winter market. So if it's to develop players, start doing it now. This is how we won the championship. It was with our youth. I don't know why we changed so much, and all of a sudden, we believe in foreigners more than our own youth.
Yeah,
again. We're making the same mistakes we always made in the past when we won the championship after 19 years, which is ganhamos com a prata da casa, and then we feel that, let's invest in some quality players from other countries, and it always backfires. Always. Because if you look at the season when we were champions, 50% of the squad, it was from the Formação. This year, we only have who? Inácio? That plays?
Yeah, no facts. I'm trying to think too. Nothing else. Ugart, no. He's young, but he's not from the academy.
No.
Not from the academy.
You have players on the bench, like the goalkeeper, the backup is from the academy. No, not even him. Yeah,
no, he's from Juventus.
He's the third keeper.
Yeah.
He's the third keeper.
André Paulo.
André Paulo. He's the third keeper. Because
he's almost 30, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he calls Nazinho once in a blue moon. He calls Izugu, but they never play.
Matheus Fernandes, he had such a great preseason. I don't know where he's at. I never deemed him ready, to be fair, but I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, I mean, I saw his last game. Against Marseille, and he missed the PK. Mm-hmm. And, it was like, what the hell? I mean, anyone could miss a PK, but then he missed a lot of plays in the midfield.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with you, Steph. Chris, you have anything else to add on this debate? I know you chimed in last week, but where are you on this one?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth sacking him because just try to hope that he just the George Jesus situation, right? Just try to hope that he just kind of leaves on his own to kind of less soften the blow financially.
Yeah. I mean, to that, he is now like. There's been a lot of news stories.
Yeah, I mean, this always happens.
I was just popping it up on the screen now that he's threatening the senior players that the academy kids will come in, and I mean, it worked well for us the season we won the league. I don't know if it's going to work well for us now. I think we might have depleted our most talented kids, right? But I mean, we have to do something, right? Because this is at this point, it's just unacceptable, right? All right, let's get to the Twitter questions. But it's funny to see for me at least, that there is a lot of people, especially on Twitter, really calling for his head. I didn't expect it this soon. I know everything's gone shit, but anyways. First question in the same vein comes in from Nuno Gabriel at Cativalhense. If Ruben Amorim really ends up getting sacked, who do you guys think will be brought in? Abel is out of the question. The Brazucas love him, and he's being linked to the Brazilian national team job after Tite leaves. I don't know if he's necessarily really out of the question, but Steph, if Amorim leaves, who's on your mind? If you have somebody on your mind.
I mean, yeah, of course, the first name that would come up would be Abel Ferreira. He's doing a phenomenal job at Palmeiras.
Yeah.
And I think he would consider it just because he played at Sporting, he coached under 19, he was very successful. And I think his cycle in Brazil is coming to an end because his family wants to come back as well. But like you said, if they offer him more money, because in Brazil, actually, they play the coaches really well, better than some players. But if they give him a chance to coach the national team of Brazil, I think he'll take it. I mean, that's so much prestige. I don't think you can turn it down. Are you kidding me? 5 world champion of the world.
Yeah. Maybe 6 this year.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But I would say, for me, of course, it would be Abel Ferreira. But, let's not count out Ruben Amorim. I just hope somebody could talk to him. Like, he can't be just the way he thinks. Sometimes he has to talk to someone to bring him down to earth and say, hey, eu sei que és teimoso para caraças, but you've won on this time. You have to chill because stop insisting on this guy, for example, just an example, because you're not protecting him. Now you're burning him.
Yep.
And he burned him because the fans hate him. So Abel Ferreira, and then as a second option, I actually like the coach from I like the coach from Studio. He's decent.
Nelson Verissimo, yeah.
Yeah, and I like the coach from Santa Clara. He's decent too. I don't know if they'd be able to handle such a big club, but that's it.
I told Christian and Sam last week that if Amorim leaves, I have a feeling we're getting Nelson Verissimo from Studio. Came from Benfica. It's like the perfect fit, bro, for this administration.
Bruno Lage, Lopetegui.
Or Bruno Lage. Lopetegui's not coming to Sporting. We can't afford Lopetegui.
Espírito Santo.
I think he's going back to Wolves.
I mean,
I would love Espírito Santo as well. Don't get me wrong.
Would come.
I would love Espírito Santo.
He's not like fully committed to football Club Porto. I think he would come. Yeah,
I agree.
I don't think
Fonseca's in Lille, but I think he would have came too if we gave him the chance. But now it's too late.
I personally don't like him that much, to tell the truth.
Fonseca?
No,
Espírito Santo. Okay.
I like Bruno Lage better.
Pedro Martins in the chat from Dave. I wouldn't take Pedro. Actually, I would take Pedro Martins, but I don't think he's better than Amorim. Is my thing. There's not a lot of managers out there better than Amorim, and for a league like ours, I know Benfica's Robert Schmidt is doing well so far, but he also had 100,000 invested the last 2 seasons before he came, and now he had whatever he had this season. I still don't. I think he's a great manager. I still don't think he'll be as successful as we think in Benfica. We'll see, especially after this weekend. We'll see, but we need a Portuguese manager. I know Leonardo Jardin's been mentioned. I don't see Leonardo Jardim coming back to To at least Sporting, I don't think we pay what he wants because I think he's just overpriced.
And that's the problem with names like Leonardo Jardim. They think they should be paid X amount of money, and then they'll never come back.
Yeah,
that'll be too expensive.
And I agree with even MGO here on the chat, saying like the club just doesn't invest. He was just talking the other comment how where did the money from Mateus Nunes and João Palhinha go? And the CL and the Champions League money. That's what I've been shouting from the mountaintops. I just
that's
don't
a
know.
good question. Yeah, where's the money?
Yeah,
and let's not forget the money.
That's where it went
from the Champions League. We got a bunch of money from the Champions League.
Yep.
No, I mean that's not even necessarily where it went either.
The VMOC?
No. Yeah, I mean we did that with with loan with I think Saragasta, which is the Zenga finance company. So I'm pretty sure that's just outstanding as well. So I don't think we necessarily even paid that up front by any means.
Which is crazy. It's crazy for this.
We just changed who we owed it to instead of the bank.
Yeah.
It's the financial firm.
It's crazy that this administration will brag about how they've made the most profit, but I don't see where this profit has went.
It seems like a lot of it just evaporates. Yeah,
and to the point, I can't remember if it might have been before we went on the podcast where I was talking about the beach soccer, football praia, which I agree with you, Steph. Nobody watches it, but
I did not like it, but a lot of Portuguese that they really like appall.
Here's the thing: it's the modality that's separate. It's separated from the club. They don't play at Alcochete even. They play far away, right?
But listen, this is my take. When under Bruno Carvalho, we were probably at the brokest, right? We were almost bankrupt. He came up with all these modalities, and we were still afloat from it. Now we're all sausages. We're going to pay more in Cotas, which is supposed to directly go into the modalities. They're making record sales, record signings, back-to-back seasons. And of course, this is consistently in the Champions League for at least the last 2 years. Where is this money going? And then all of a sudden, it's players are not players. The teams are disappearing. We're making record signings. Cotas are going up. Teams are disappearing. So that's my question: is where is this fiscal responsibility? Where is all the money going? Because you can't be bragging that we've made X amount of profit over the last 5 years that I've been president, but we're not investing as much as Benfica. I won't even say Benfica. We're not investing as much as Porto. And Porto had a financial handicap over the last 2, 3, 4 years, it feels like.
But you see what Porto is doing?
What are they doing?
They're playing with their youth.
Okay, but not only.
What I mean is they're playing with their youth. They sold some players to be back on the UEFA fair plan.
Fair play. Yeah.
Fair play. And then they got that situation regulated, and now they went back to a prata de casa. Sérgio Conceição was upset. He mentioned it. I hate to form players and then they leave, and I have to get other players and develop them again. I get that, but he's doing it again. And Rumbo de Amorim and Vienna, they went away from that, and they decided to invest money in foreigners, and it's not panning out. Morita is not as good as people thought he was.
Agreed.
Let's call it the way it is. It's not only Gaio. We lost the midfield. We don't have a decent number 6. And playing Ugarte all the time, we're going to burn him out. He's already burned out. So,
but even to Porto, I mean, yes, they're playing their formation. They won the league with it last year, but this year they sold Vitinha, they sold Fabio Vieira, they bought Carmo, David Carmo from Braga, 20 million. So they're still purchasing, even though they have financial fair play. They sold Luis Diaz. Who did they get in? They got in that Brazilian guy. I forget his name. So it's not like they're also not buying players. You know what I mean? They just sold half their academy. But they're always competing. But the thing is with Porto, no matter what's going on with Porto, and I'm just using Porto as the example, even Benfica you can argue, but Porto especially, no matter what they're doing, they're always competing at least. Where it comes to Sporting is we finally see that somewhat of a momentum turns. Last year I thought we played really well. I thought we, unlucky to not to win the league because Porto was on fire. But this year, it's like we're a shell of ourselves. We sold players and we didn't plan this year out properly. And I can't emphasize this enough. I feel like we come on here every podcast saying this, but I think that's our biggest issue is we fucked off. We sold so many players, and then sold the one we wanted to keep, and then we didn't adequately replace them enough.
And the players that have been brought in have not lived up to the expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly, Chris. I mean, everyone was excited about the option of Trincão. Wow, what a name! Wow, it's going to be great. So far, it's panned out to be okay. He's good enough for Vitória de Guimarães. He's good enough for Braga.
Also, something that also needs to be added in terms of like how fucked we are. Sorry to cut you off, Steph, but like,
no, cool.
Christ, man, like the thing is, like a lot of these players, like it feels like we're still so financially stretched and indebted in so many different respects. So many agents with outstanding fees, tens of millions of dollars due this year, due in the coming years. Obviously, like, so much payments to the banks in the next 4 years. It's a lot of it's sort of done. A lot of it still needs to be done. You got Texter coming in here, talks of him trying to buy parts of the SAD, bro. A lot of these players are 50%. So when it's like, it's time to turn a profit, or, like, oh, well, I guess we need to do fire sale again, Mateus Nunes style. Like, the money just it isn't there, and they're all underperforming like Pot. Edwards obviously has shown his flashes, but it's like I don't know if anyone's really coming in here for the big bucks for him right now like that. Trincão 50% as well. It's just it's tough, man. It's a tough situation that we're in on a lot of fronts.
And we're probably not getting the Vinaga money back. Let's be real. I don't think he's played for.
No, dude. I mean, bro. What did you think was gonna happen? he's gonna pop.
I thought maybe a miracle would happen, bro. I don't know.
Maybe League One is his level.
I thought George Mins would have our back at least for something.
Nah, dude, we're fucked on that one.
So next question comes in from Philippe Parige at Philippe_Lee. Miguel Cal said that Sporting board is pulling the floor from Amorim, and it's being discussed that he'll be sacked, and the Bell name comes up as the successor. Also, Gallardo is a free agent. That's a good shout, but he's not coming to Sporting. Let me just say that now. Do you think it's a good option considering that he might want a European challenge? Chris, I'll give that to you. I mean, we could have sort of touched it, but
yeah,
I guess it's mainly a Bell, but
I saw the comments. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's got some sources. He used to be in the admin. Pulling the floor from him, I mean, what does that even mean? What is he implying? That they're intentionally tanking their prized asset? That doesn't really make that much sense. So I don't really know what he means by that, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if it's a direct upgrade from Abel to Amorim, considering what Abel did with Braga and then what Amorim followed up with Braga, right? But next question from our boy Nuno Gabriel. One of the youngsters whose name have come up to start begin. Oh, hold on. One of the youngsters whose name have come up to start begin part of the main team. Who are you guys? One, hopeful will actually get playing time, and two, will actually. So who within our youngsters? I'll ask both of you this. Will actually start getting playing time, and who do you think has a chance to play, if any? Steph, I'll start with you.
I mean, there's a couple of players that I've been watching in specifically in the youth league, and every time they play on Sporting TV, the under-19 or the B squad, I like to see the center back Chikulamba. He's been showing some consistency. Also, Renato Vega, he can play center back and also number 6. Rodrigo Ribeiro, I like him, but I don't see him hustling. Mm-hmm. He's too much of a crack. That's the idea he gives me. Like, he's like a ponta de lança de raiz. And I think that's why Ruben Amorim didn't bet on him, because he's too steady on Pinheiro, and he needs to change his mindset. But he's a great player, but shit, in today's football, you can't be that steady. You have to be running all the time. And then a couple of exciting names, which will be Afonso Moreira. He's a great winger. He's phenomenal inside the box. He pulls out very good assists. I like also, last but not least, Matheus Fernandes. But he goes down easily when he has a bad game, and they all gonna have bad games and bad passes and miss a goal or PK. He missed a PK against Marseille. They didn't lose; they tied 1-1, so we're still in first place in the youth league. But that's the players I would like to see from the youth.
Agreed. Good shout. How about you, Chris? Any other names?
Yeah, I mean, I who I thought it would be, honestly, would be Matheus Fernandes. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he's left off the bench against Varzim. Vega, Travassos, and Nazinho are all there. He's not. Didn't make the bench.
Travassos as well. That's a good shout. I like him too.
I'm sure. Well, those clearly are all, in theory, knocking on the door the closest, right? Because they were all on the bench against Varzim. So I guess Matheus Fernandes is a bit behind them, but it's like,
yeah.
I mean, bro. I mean, how? I mean, how does he justify not at least testing some of them? As early as this weekend. I mean, what are you waiting for, man?
Yeah, especially if Ugarte is so exhausted, like he looks like he is, and Morita as well. Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. Give a chance to Matheus Fernandes. Why not? I mean, shit. The season is gone. I mean,
Wilson Fernandes is getting no burn on the U23 team, or no burn on the B team. Sometimes plays for the U23 is shocking.
No.
Dave's even wondering if he sold him, bro.
But that's a good thing. The sub-23, you either want to play the under-19 or the B team. The under-23 is for the rejects. I don't know if you know this.
That's where he's balling.
Crazy.
No one pays attention to the under-23.
They lost to Estrela Demadora yesterday. No shots on target. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. 1-0. That's a good competition for Surreal to win every year.
Yeah,
they have the best rejected youth players, or like mid-tier youth players. Let's go.
I agree. The under-23 it's not being taken seriously by the big clubs.
No. Next question. And the only name I don't know if you guys said it or not. I wonder where Sugu went because I thought he was really good when he came in, but that was like 2 years ago now.
No, he's still good. He's doing phenomenal in the under-19 youth league.
No bench against
Steph, you said it yourself, and I agree with you. We have no midfield. Why aren't we playing Sugu? Even Matheus Fernandes keeps getting shouts ahead of him, and it's
why don't you play both of them? Because they know each other. So
that's risky, but I'm with you. At least on the bench for this. At least on the bench. It's a two-man midfield. We have 3 players.
If we lost against Varzim, against a good team, we had an A team on the pitch.
Yeah, agreed.
We could have lost with the C team. I guess you can call it that. With Izugu and but at least we would have tested 2 youngsters to see if they can handle a 3rd division team. We lost against. What is Fernandes going to say? They invested a lot of money to go up the 2nd division.
They're in 2nd, so they're fighting.
It's ridiculous when you have a shitty president. Like he doesn't know how to motivate the players and the fan base.
Does he still go to the locker room ever?
I hope not. Maybe he's been going to the locker room more often.
They haven't reported it. Sometimes they do, because it's like he went to the locker room to give morale. Sometimes you'll see that from Rui Costa or even Pieter Costa, or after a win. I haven't seen him descending, or at least it hasn't been reported. I tracked the news sites pretty closely, so I mean, maybe it's just not being reported, or maybe he's staying away from the dressing room.
But what is he going to say? What kind of words of wisdom?
No, dude, I'm with you. I don't think he's going to say anything worthwhile. No. So, but
in public, he's an embarrassment. He says stuff he's not supposed to. How can you, as the president, try? I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to protect Amorim, but it fired back on him when he said
the Marseille commenter to project himself.
Oh my goodness! When he said, "How can we expect our team to win against a team that has 5 times more of the investment of us?" And it means that you guys don't know anything about football. He doesn't know anything about football himself. Yeah, I mean, are you kidding me? That's not how you motivate your troops. You got to tell them our team. It's they earn good money. $650,000 not good money. Shit, pay it to me.
If I'm not mistaken, before Marseille played us, Marseille haven't won in 16 Champions League games. 16. Okay, they have a bit more American money now, so they're throwing it on players like 33 or 34-year-old Alexis Sanchez has been washed for at least 4 years.
All the rejects from Arsenal.
All the rejects from the Premier League.
Yeah.
Eric Bailly, Guendouzi.
They're not that good
who's the
either.
other center
They
back?
used to be.
And Bemba, or the guy from Porto.
Mbemba, exactly. Yeah. Come on, bro.
But what pisses me off is he even went further, digging himself a bigger hole when he said, "We luckily won by luck against Tottenham." And the German team. I was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, we outplayed both teams. Maybe not the second half of Tottenham, you can say, but I thought even still we played a perfect strategy to beat both teams. So,
but you can be a president,
and as a president, that's embarrassing.
So ignorant like that you're not expecting your fan base to criticize you when you say shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can say that now's a good time to say that there was an AG on Saturday as well this past weekend. That was approved with like 80%. 1,000 Celsius voted.
1,000 from Lisbon only.
Nobody goes.
Well, it makes sense.
Tranquilo. Yeah. AG. 15 questions.
And then the people from Lisbon, they wonder why we call them Alphacinas. I mean, oh my God, they vote everything yes, and when the team is doing terrible, go yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. They have no backbone.
Nothing. And then they keep talking about. I know it's different with AGs, but it's not that hard to put everything online. Let's be real. So from our girl Lauren Yano on Twitter, I get why people want Ruben Amorim gone, but if he does go, we have to be very strategic about his replacement. This would be a huge decision for Varandas, and he'd have to get it right. I personally think he needs the rest of the season. If it hasn't fixed it, then let him go. We owe him the time to try to put this right. At the end of the day, this is a mess. He has caused it too, but he's also been let down by the hierarchy. If we were to go on a run of 5 to 6 games in a row and close the gap at the top, bad runs are forgotten. That's true. El Jefe at King Jeff 33. If there was a youth insertion into the rotation, which regular options do you think should sit? Which regular options do you think would sit? And who is in the youth ranks would you select to replace the player with? So more youth talk. I'm sitting Morita. I'm starting Isugu. I almost said Ishgayu. That's it. Chris, go ahead.
Israel show you enough to
Israel for that's free Palestine. That's all I gotta say to that, bro.
he didn't show you enough to convince you more than it does.
For this, no, bro, not at all.
Yeah, bro. I feel like Travasius has to be the backup by default now. If that guy is out for the season,
100%. Give Travaso a chance. Give Nazinho a chance.
I hope we recall
Nazinho's
he's not playing in this video.
The thing is, Nazinho's gotten chances, but they're all fake chances. He comes on like with so little time, it doesn't actually mean anything.
The thing is too. I think at this point, Matheus Reis is basically our center back, right?
So there's not enough depth for him to ever play left back.
So that's what I'm saying. So Nazinho has to play left back. If something were to happen and Nuno,
if there's somehow 3 other center backs healthy, he could maybe, but that will never happen.
But then that's the problem with Nuno Santos. If we keep on playing Nuno Santos, we're going to burn him out too.
And here's the thing with Nuno Santos. I think he's better higher up the pitch than he is at left wing back. Not that he's done a bad job. If anything, Nuno Santos has probably been our best player this year.
The most consistent one.
Most consistent player for sure.
Indeed. Bro, he hasn't played the
out
front,
of position.
The left back. The left wing. He hasn't played that in like a year and a half. Yeah. So long.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so
yeah.
And to me, he's an option. To me, he should be an option up front. He as good as he is at left wing back, he should be a left winger at times too, because he can easily bag us an assist.
Bro. Yeah, he creates chances.
I mean, the Sarabia being gone improves the logic and the rationale that sometimes you have to invest a little bit more money in quality players. Of course, Sarabia was out of the orbit because of his salary, but we could have certainly negotiated.
Yeah, should we have tried to get Mauro Icardi on loan? From
No.
PSG, who we have a
No.
relationship with. Dude, he went for
It would have been.
he went for
That would
pennies
have
on the
been
dollar.
No,
it would have been
Galatasaray. Amorim would not have.
TMZ
Amorim
every
would
day
have
with
done it,
him
but
and
it's
his
like, bro,
girlfriend and
how
wife
would he
or
have
whatever.
made our team worse, dude? There's so many
Bro,
players where it's like, how many would have made our team worse?
We didn't even want Ronaldo. Why would we want Icardi?
Well, I wanted Ronaldo.
I'm with you too, but
how would he have made our team worse, bro? How would he have made our team worse?
How the hell wouldn't you want Ronaldo? I mean, unless you a dumb coach. Of
Would
course,
he really make our team? You have to honestly be such a committed to being that much of a hater that you would actually argue that he would somehow make our team worse. He would just shoot a lot and he would have like 13 shots a game, but he would score like 2.
Of course, he would.
And 1 often.
It's good inside the box. It's better than most strikers in Portugal, and he's pretty good like Taremi for PK.
Yeah, you just got to get some PKs. Rashinga tried. He tried his best.
Yeah.
Who would have taken that PK? Probably would have just fucking missed it.
Yeah, I would think so too. He would hit like the camera guy in the back of the goalie. We're playing bad. We're playing terrible. This season is gone, and I hate to say it, but we're aiming for the 3rd place, and that's the best we can do. I don't see us catching Benfica. They're very inconsistent, and it's not because our Portuguese league is shitty, because it's a shitty league. Of course, the referees, they have poor quality, but even in the Champions League, they've been doing pretty well. So they have a good coach. They have a well-balanced team. They played some shitty games, of course, but they're pulling it through. They're winning those tough games. Sometimes a little bit with luck with the referees, good calls in their favor. But we get those calls as well. As bad as we've been playing, we're getting good calls from referees.
Yeah, true. Yeah. We can only blame ourselves.
You gave us a totally undeserved +5. Again, it always happens with the big 3, dude. If the big 3 team is losing, no matter how the game was, the extra time amount is going to be at least 5, could be 7.
Yeah. Listen,
like
I don't want to be that guy. But when it comes to Benfica and Porto, it's always at least 7. With us, not so much.
They're legit should have been +2 of that.
No, we've gone 7-8 minutes. Like when I went to see Stade Valade.
And he gave us an extra minute. And he gave us an extra minute. We went to like +6 against Varzim. He gave us an extra minute.
It could be worse. What was the game? It fucked me over. I had a bet on it. Studios Gil Vicente. I think they gave an extra 5-6 minutes. They went into the 11th minute.
Yeah. I think because he went to VAR in the
extra time.
It was a last-minute goal, too.
and that to me is the referee. You asking for trouble.
Yeah.
If you give 6 minutes, stick to the 6 minutes. Don't go beyond that. Because if they score a goal beyond those 6 minutes, of course they're going to jump on you. I mean, stick to the goddamn time you gave. It's like extra time on top of extra time. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Eu passo com vezes. I'm like, what?
And if anyone was going to score, honestly, on our team in those minutes, it was going to be Jovan, to be honest.
It's tough to score when you have, like, literally 22 or 21 players inside that's half of the field.
That's true, too. And then only, like, a few of them are over fucking, I won't even say 6 foot. I'll say 5'10", 5'11", and we're crossing.
Again, what pisses me off is players like, I'm even going to include Porro, Just, Nakwatch. They like made out of glass. They're always injured. Back in the days, levavam injeções, caralho, tem que correr e jogar. Now it's like, dói-me ali, dói-me não sei o quê.
Bro, I would even go so far.
They don't want to play no more.
I would even go so far back in the day, those players don't play. Mourinho back in 2004 to 2010, he doesn't play injury-prone players. You know what I mean? I don't even think back in those days, those players don't play.
I remember when the goalie Schmeichel, when he came to Sporting, when he went to a podcast of Sporting160, he confessed. I think he went to one of those podcasts. If not, then
he did. He broke his hand or some shit, right?
He broke his hand and he was playing with a broken hand.
Yeah.
Jose Sal's playing with a broken hand right now.
Yeah. You proposed that to one of our players? No, because you know what? You know why my club is so soft? Has a lot to do with Frederic Fernandez because he's a doctor and he think he knows better than anybody else, and he's making our team so weak, and we look like a bunch of papoilas.
Yeah. Last question. Sorry. Go ahead, Steph.
No, there's no. I know. I'm ramping a little bit.
No.
I've been holding it for a while, and I just want to let it out.
For sure.
But we're not aggressive. We don't win the 50-50s. We can make not even a string of 6 passes together. And then when we're desperate, when we fall behind, we never overcome that. Never. Yeah, and then we go with long balls inside the box and
negative like killer instinct, champion mentality. Very visible that there's none of that existing.
Agreed. It's exactly, bro. We go 2-0 up. If they score a goal, bro, what was the game? Gil Vicente. We went 3-1. No, Santa Clara. Sorry, 2-0 up. They scored 2-1. I'm currently shitting my pants because I know how these players are. I don't know about you boys.
All of us. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just even, and then don't get me started. If we're down 1-0, game over. Like, forget about it.
I went to my local church and I'm praying inside the church. I hope we can hold on to this game.
David's 100% right on this. Our attitude was sold at Fulham. 100%. The only player really with garra when it comes to winning a ball back, sold to Fulham. And the other one, to be fair to him, has been having injury problems for at least 2-3 years now, maybe more. And now it's finally catching up to him, which is Quach. The rest, agreed. Quach.
Well, we had bad luck. We had bad luck with Daniel
Neto as well.
Daniel Bragança, we had bad luck.
And Bragança. Yeah. But even Bragança doesn't have that same attitude. But he's nice. I love Bragança. I think Bragança, the problem we have in midfield isn't so obvious because Murita, I don't think, should be a starter for us. As good as he's been at times, I don't think he should be a starter for us. It would have been Ugarte and Bragança. But then even then, that midfield is very short. Yeah. But they're both good at winning the ball back. They're both Bragança at least is a very creative player. They both have a bit of pace about them, so I don't think we'd be as bad. Because Morita's no tall guy either, right? Our midfield is pretty short as it is right now. So, but I agree with David. I think the biggest thing was Pelinha, even though Pelinha didn't have the greatest of seasons last year because of injury.
Well, Pelinha decided to go to the Premier League, and he went.
And good for him, and as he deserved.
Well, he deserves it, but not Fulham. He went to a team that will fight for the 6-7 spot. That's all. To keep
they've fallen off a lot from their top start to the season. They're going to be fighting for relegation, or they'll be fighting for 16.
So I was being nice.
Yeah, you were being nice because they did start the season really well.
They started off hot.
Yeah.
So that
reality has set in over there.
For the quality and of the quality of the potential of Pelinha, it was actually a step down. Of course, not the salary. The salary was more money. But he went from a team that was winning titles to a team that's fighting for the relegation. Yeah. And the same applies to Matheus Nunes. He's making more money, but the motivation is gone now because now you in the bottom third of the Premier League with the Wolves. So
they're getting a relegation scrap as well.
Oh, yeah.
I actually hope Wolves get fucked off.
That would be hilarious.
I would love that.
Hilarious. It'd be hilarious.
And both these players, Pelinha and Matheus Nunes, if Sporting gave them a little raise, they would have stayed. If they
Matheus Nunes especially, bro.
If they said, hey, don't preocupe, we're going to pay you as much as we pay our best player, he would have stayed. And sometimes that's the kind of investments you need to make.
Agreed.
Instead of the 7 vice presidents that we have, and again, I don't know why we have so many vice presidents, and 150 dirigents and 450 sub members. I'm exaggerating with the numbers. They all got a raise. All of them got a raise.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing? And then
what if we just like fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say now. It literally just escaped me. Fuck.
Are you smoking something? I don't know.
No, I'm just
It's a long day, bro. I'm with you, bro.
It's a long day.
Hey,
Play
it's a long
Play
season.
the full 44 on my 7-a-side game earlier tonight.
Nice. You guys win? You boys win?
Nah, we lost.
Nah,
Played a
man.
good team. We played a real good
talk
team.
about it.
I respect them. We lost. I think 7-5. It's a good team. Respect to them.
Oh wow, nice.
At least you guys are consistent like Sporting.
Last question here before we go into this weekend and finish this off from Dave Oliveira. A really good question here, I think. He asks, do you think our loan strategy is working? If it doesn't seem like the guys we loaned out are getting many minutes, it would have been more beneficial to keep Tete and Stivs here to get more minutes. Tete is actually fair enough. Tiago Tomás is coming back from injury. He's been getting minutes. Maybe not performing as well as others have. I thought he was doing good. Quaresma is a disgrace of a loan.
Bro,
He finally came on.
To the fence.
Exactly. What
the fuck is he doing over there, man?
I couldn't agree more, bro. And then he Stivs can't get minutes at fucking at Estoril. Are you kidding me? But Steph, I'll let you tackle this too. What do you think of our loan strategy so far? We have others on loan. I just can't remember. Let me pull them up.
I mean, the loan strategies, when we loan someone, it doesn't mean that those coaches, they have to play them.
That's true, but
you know. So when we say, oh, they were loaned, they're supposed to play full time. No, not necessarily. So yeah, we felt on the loan strategies big time. Like Chris said and you said, and I'm going to say it again. Why didn't Gonçalves Steve stay? I don't get it.
Or go on loan.
He's not even getting minutes at Estoril.
He could have played instead.
But he would have played. He would have played more here at Sporting. I agree. He would have played more here at Sporting because Isgai fucked off at least fucking a month ago. At the very least, he would have been way more minutes now here at Sporting than he is getting right now at Estoril.
So Ruben Amorim, he actually can redeem himself. He could say, "I want Gonçalves Esteves back, and we're gonna loan Isgai." And that's it. And that's the fix.
Where is this guy you getting loaned? Pax Ferreira?
I don't give a shit. You could go to Gafanha ou Staleg lá da minha terra. I don't care. As long as he's gone. You know, because
we're paying full salary on that. No one's paying $700K a year for him.
So even if they pay
or $350K for half the season.
If they pay half of his salary,
going to pay that?
If they pay half of his salary, but he goes to another team.
Oh man, if you're in the second division, I think you can find better use of $150K than Ricardo Esgaia.
Somebody would take Ricardo Esgaia, but I think Gonçalves Steve.
Sorry, go ahead, Steph.
No. Listen, about the loans, I think Tiago Tomás was a good move to go to Germany.
He's been playing well.
A more competitive league, but. I like Tiago Tomás better than Paulinho, for example.
For example, in this system where we're playing Pot, Edwards, and Trincão, I think Tiago Tomás would what's the word I'm looking for? He would benefit more off this system than he would with Paulinho, Tiago Tomás, and Pot, for example, or when we had Nuno Santos, Paulinho, and Pot. I think he would, because the way we play is completely different with Paulinho than we do when it's Pot, Trincão, and Edwards. I think Tiago Tomás would have more of an impact now than he would have last year or the first year where he got so much hate, even though he bagged at least 7 goals, which is probably like the exact amount that Paulinho has since he's joined us. You know what I mean? In my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
He's more of a mobile striker.
I agree. Tiago Tomás, he brings more aggressiveness than Paulinho as well.
He just brings more mobility than a Paulinho does.
And Machado for the defender.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know,
he's always there.
Yeah,
always pressuring the defender.
Paulinho.
I'll defend Paulinho here. There's no way that Tiago Tomás has more goals in it.
In this system,
I'm guessing that Paulinho probably in his sporting career, he probably has between 15 and 20 goals.
Paulinho,
which is that is not a good amount.
Not for a striker.
Not
for a Sporting striker, because we've been spoiled at the same time. We've had Dos, Slimani, even Freddie.
It is absolutely not good enough. But I'm guessing my man is in double digits.
Let's see.
I kind of knew we were in trouble when this season, or even last season, when Ruben Amorim couldn't work it out with Slimani. I'm like, this is the 21st century, and you as a coach, you paid to actually solve problems, not to create them or evolve them like a novel that it was, with a player that actually was scoring goals, number one, and number two, he was very dear to the fan base. And, I knew we were in trouble. Ruben Amorim is a good coach, but he's got his ways of ser muito teimoso. And he didn't want to relinquish Paulinho, even though Slimani was a better choice.
Yep. Just a quick heads up. I'm trying to join. Look, transfer market for Paulinho right now. We're having a flat ball.
Oh no!
That's all you need to know, guys. That's all you need to know.
Well, lads, how many goals do you think he has this season?
2.
Paulinho probably has 1. No,
He has 1. He has 1.
I said
and how
2.
much does Tete? How much does Tete have at Stuttgart?
1, I think.
1, exactly.
Yeah.
So right now,
Paulinho
Paulinho has 14 goals and 48 assists to Wikipedia, but that's only league, if I'm not mistaken.
Paulinho, to restart the season, he needs to.
Yep, he's got some Champions League. So my estimate of 15 to 20 is probably reasonable.
Accurate.
Wait, what did I say here? What did I say? 14? 14? It's probably close to 20, yeah. Because he has at least 4 in the Champions League.
The Besiktas bangers come to mind.
He had 3 last season, right?
At least 3, yeah, maybe
3
4.
last season, 1 this year, so 18. Tiago Tomas for Sporting has only 3 league goals and the same amount of appearances. Okay.
He had 2 against Bolnitz, though, in the cup.
5 for Stuttgart in 22. And then the cup, you're right. So I'm not saying he's better. I'm just saying in this system, he might benefit from it more. And
Let's see if Jovan can do anything. Jovan's maybe the joker that turns the season around.
I hope.
Vamos ver, but he has glass knees also, so
he could get injured instantly.
Our Sporting is so picky. We let Eustáquio go to Porto, and he's doing a phenomenal job at Porto. We let Beto go to Italy because he was not good enough because he came from Portimonense, and he was too expensive.
Nice. If we had him, he'd be nice, actually. Yeah,
bro. I think Beto's within a good shot to make the World Cup now that Jota's gone. I mean, he's better than Gonçalo Ramos. I don't think he would. I don't think he would. Not under Fernando Santos, but I prefer him over Gonçalo Ramos at this point. More mature.
Andre Silva would have to tear his Achilles or something.
Andre Silva's not even playing for fucking Leipzig. If I'm not mistaken.
But he's gonna be in the team though.
He
was Champions League player.
Ronaldo's not playing for United.
He was, to be fair, he did score 2 goals in Leipzig's Champions League game 2 weeks ago that I watched because it was the early game
against
another player that comes to mind.
Yeah, I think so.
Navarro, do Gil Vicente.
I'm not sold on him either. People that are the Navarro stands. He's not.
Listen, I'd take anybody. I'd take anybody at this point.
That's the other thing where it's just give me something.
The goal against us, and it was a very good goal he scored against us, and he looked like he knows what he's doing with the ball when given properly. We need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. We don't have that. Everyone is struggling. Rochinha is not it. He should have never been.
He's been underwhelming. I thought he was going to be more, but he's been underwhelming. But he's been limited on his chances at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought he would start this game.
Artur do Estoril is our best cheerleader. He's always
Artur does not count for Amorim whatsoever.
Who?
I mean, the man had the miracle run in the Champions League, but I mean, he does not count for Amorim at all.
And that's when we should have sold him. By the way, after that play, sell him for 20 million. You know?
Incredible prospect.
Score banger in Champions League. My bad.
We fucked it here.
So this weekend we have a clásico, Benfica Sporting. Foda-se. Porto Benfica.
That's a derby. This is
it's a clásico, right? Porto Benfica. Yeah,
I know. Benfica Sporting is a derby.
You're right. What do you guys think is going to be the result? And what's better for Sporting? I've been thinking about this. Is it better for Benfica to lose So that way we're 6 away from both, or are we going for the tie? Because Benfica winning we're still 9 points away. Maybe it's better for us to get second. We're only going to be 3 from Porto. Steph, I'll start with you. What do you want? What do you think will happen, and what do you want to happen?
Okay, I think at this point in time, it would be more beneficial for Benfica to lose because you put a dent on their morale.
Yeah.
They have an incredible run. They haven't lost in the league, and they're doing pretty good in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So this will take away some of their motivation, but I don't see them losing. They playing at the Luz, right?
No, at the Dragão.
Oh, so that's a little bit different because of all the intimidation and the line
The ball boys.
the security and the ball catchers will also intervene. So it's fair game in Porto. Everything goes. So because of the intimidation, I think it might be a tie or Porto winning, not because Benfica doesn't have enough quality, but just because at Porto everything goes. Even the referees will be intimidated and they'll call a lot of calls in favor of Porto. I hate to say it, but when
never underestimate the backhand ball boys this year.
Exactly. Yeah. Even the security, they're supposed to be looking at the public. They were helping out against the Sporting players. It's an embarrassment what's going on in Porto, trying to make it the North against the South.
Yeah, I agree.
And they make it sound like Portugal is a third world country. When Portuguese come up with this bullshit theory of North against South, it's really primitive. We're going back to the Stone Age of the 16th century. The Moros against os Portugueses Espanhóis. It's actually, I would be embarrassed to be a Portista at this point in time because it's
imagine if like Porto Canal tweets
so
like
weak.
dumb burns.
Like Frederic Fernandez, the one thing he said that actually it's 100% correct, he's going to court for that. What he said is actually on point. Pinto Costa is exactly what he said. There's not even a doubt about that. You go to YouTube, you Google a Pintorado, and you'll see that what Frederic Fernandez, that's the only thing I support him on, believe it or not. It's what he said, and I'm not going to say it, but what he said about Pinto Costa is 100% correct. 100%. If it wasn't for Pinto Costa using those dirty tactics, Porto would actually have maybe 10 championships. 10. So, going back to the topic.
Noise it unlocked with my face scanner.
Going back to the topic, I think it would be more beneficial if Benfica lost.
I agree.
But I think it'll be a tie or Porto winning just because everything goes at the start of the Dragão. Even o guys que toca o correntinho, he throws that shit to somebody's player's head or something.
How about you, Chris? How do you see this playing out?
I guess I'll preface with this. Vitor Pinho, good shout. 2-2 does feel like a 2-2 game. To be honest, just a stalemate that keeps everything even. The dog in me says that I want a Porto win so that we're 6 points off both. But for what? What 6 points off both of them for what? We're gonna catch them? No, we don't have the squad for that.
But we allowed to dream at that point. We just
win our own. Yeah, if we win our own game this weekend, which
I know if we lose,
and I'll get to that.
Gazipi, it's a third division team. We might lose because they invest a lot of money.
Third division. Let me quickly show you, since we'll transition there. Let me show you the table right now, boys. We have Casa Pia. So Benfica first, Porto third, second, Braga third. Casa Pia right there in fourth, baby. 17 points. Sporting 16 points. Boa Vista 16. They play Guimarães this weekend. That can be another big game. Also, and we'll get to
for the conference league matchup with us. Who's fighting for conference.
Braga play Estoril. I don't know if it's at home or it's at Estoril. That's another big game. So if Estoril can maybe steal some points, one, they can leapfrog us, And then 2, we can get closer to Braga. So that's another thing to pay attention to. But back to the Sporting game. Sporting against Casa Pia at home at Alvalade. Chris, I'll start with you this time. How do you see this game playing out? Because we are in amazing form currently.
I see it playing out in front of 18,000 silent fans
for this. O Central it's gonna be bumping, bro.
If we don't win, we might get some Lenços Brancos from Central. It's very possible. If there's just like underwhelming play, we're gonna get some whistles. We're gonna get some action potentially. Casa Pia, I think, is gonna come in here kind of timidly, though, to be honest. And they have dropped points more recently. They kind of got off to a little Fulhamish start.
They lost the last game.
I mean, it's the game that we should be winning. It's at home as well. If we play at the Jamor, there'd be legitimately be 3-digit people there. 800 people.
Are you saying we have the responsibility to win this game?
I'm saying that we have the responsibility to win this game.
Don't tell our president that, bro. Don't tell our president that.
They may be higher than us in the table, but I think that we have the responsibility to win this game. And despite their investments this summer as well. But however, I don't think that we're going to win. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. And yeah, I think it's going to might be ugly afterwards as well. And during the game, surely. If it's a 1-1 draw, it'll be ugly.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win from us, but it's going to be ugly nonetheless. Steph, how about you, bro?
I think we're going to lose this game at home.
Wow.
Just because Casa Pia has got our number.
Yeah.
And it's no secret on how we play. Everyone has figured out who and winning tactic. They know our players. They know that the morale is low. Unless he plays the youth, then we might have a chance to win. If he plays with our foreigners that know nothing about our Portuguese league, and they think they better than the Portuguese players.
If Andre Paulo is on the bench taking up the spot of a potential youth player, bro, I'll go ape.
It's gonna happen, bro. Bro, the B team needs their players, bro.
True, he's gonna be there.
The under 19s need their players, bro. Come on, they have a league to win too.
So me personally, I think we lose if we play with the A team. If we use our youth, we might have a chance to win. They'd be more motivated. They'll be running all over the field. If we play with our A squad, I
actually don't think Sporting B has a game this weekend. I might be making that up, but I don't think that they do.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
And that's why I gotta say I'm not feeling any positive vibes.
Nice. Well, yeah. I mean, that's our table. Like I mentioned, Boa Vista Guimarães. I have Boa Vista winning for my fellow degenerates that want to bet. I will be throwing money on Boa Vista. They won me some good money this week. I might throw a $5 on Estoril just because Braga's also in bad form. Just saying. And yeah, I honestly think Benfica is beating Porto this weekend, and that will kill me because
I did make that up. They're playing Belenenses, bro. Big game for the B team. I made that up, but there's no game this.
Belenenses
regular edition.
Right, third division.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steph.
In the Taça de Portugal, there's a team called Rabo do Peixe.
I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Even a team com o nome de Rabo do Peixe is na Taça de Portugal. O Rabo do Peixe.
Is that in Açores?
Yep.
Come on.
I don't know if that team is from the Açores. I'm assuming so, though.
I hope they win the Portuguese Cup, actually. Rabo do Peixe ganhou.
Yeah, check out their logo. You haven't checked that. If you're not familiar with their logo, you should check it out.
I really wanted Frederico Varandas to say something after this game.
Clube Desportivo Rabo do Peixe. CB Rabo do Peixe.
É só peixe. I'm not making fun of the club. I'm not making fun of the club, but
no. This is
I mean, they're through. They're through, man. Good for them.
What a fucking
They're into the
logo.
4th round, something that we can't say.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know, because we lost against a phenomenal team, and all due respect to Varzim, but they're in the 3rd division, and they have an orçamento inferior on us, because that's the argument he used against Marseille. So what happened?
Bro, their orçamento is like as Guy's entire salary, bro. That's about the orçamento. About 2 as guys is probably their whole salary. Like $1 million and change is probably their whole salary, whole budget.
Nah, not even, bro. I don't think so.
It's 3rd division, dude.
I think one,
and a lot of them had contracts probably 2nd division. They just came down. I bet it's like among the higher in the division.
Yeah, that makes sense though. That makes sense. Benamad's still in the Casa, by the way, stuff.
Not that it's that high, and we should be losing to them though.
Yeah, my Benamad is playing better than Sporting.
Way better.
It's pretty sad when you lose against a 3rd division team, and you still come up with bullshit excuses like Amorim.
It's funny when it happens to somebody else, but it sucks when it happens to you.
Let me ask, because this is like 2 years and within at least the last 4, maybe 5. We'll say no, it's 4. It's 4 because the previous year we lost to Alverca. Has Porto Benfica lost in the last 10 years to a 3rd division team in the Taça Portugal? We've lost to them twice.
Porto did in 2007, but that's just I just have a very specific memory of that. They lost to Atletico from Alcantara.
Yeah. Nice. Only Sporting. This is the most Sporting thing that can happen, and it's happening finally. After 2 years of non-Sportingness, we're back to the good old days, back to the banter days.
But Danny, and I've said this, and I'll say it again to you and Chris. People forget easily that when we won the championship, 50% of our team, it was our youth from the academy.
We didn't plan on it either.
And they were really fucking good, too.
I know, all of a sudden, everybody was in full agreement with Ruben Amorim when he loaned Tomás, when he loaned Quaresma, when he let go of Max. He wasn't good enough to be our goalie.
Well, what a shamble of a decision.
Yeah.
Horrible decision.
Exactly. Mateus Nunes, we sold him because we needed money. And then we've been talking about this. What happened to all the money we made in the Champions Leagues and the sales prior to that?
To that, let me just quickly say, Steph, I think to everything you just mentioned, the biggest thing that we can mention about this administration, yes, won us the league, good job. They're so short-sighted with everything. Like you mentioned, Luis Max, Tete, Mateus Nunes. Nuno Mendes was a good sale. That was probably the only good sale truly that this administration has made.
Tabata.
So short-sighted that they no matter how much good they may do, they always fuck us up in a year from now or 2 years from now, which is horrible. And coming from an administration that we had, and with many faults, I'm not saying that there wasn't any faults, many faults, but at least seemed like there was some sort of future plan going on. Like it wasn't an all-in on 1 year. But hey, here we are. Boys, if there's anything else to add, if not, we're going to wrap it up right now. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, especially in the chat. Shout out to everybody that was with us today.
Then they never will develop. They'll never develop. Never.
Sorry, Steph, you froze for a bit. Go ahead. Say that again.
It's a good thing I froze because I wasn't saying anything decent.
For the better.
I'm really upset because quando a gente ganhou a merda do campeonato, when we won the championship, the motto was, we're going to bet on our youth. And I've heard that before, 19 years ago, before we won the championship.
I thought the trajectory of the hegemony in Portugal could even be shifting potentially, but that's clearly not true.
And
why give up on our youth? And then we have a shitty team in the under 23, a shitty team in the B team, and the sub 19 and under 17 and 15. They're not shady because it's a question of age bracket, so they kind of leave it alone. But when they fluctuate from 19 to 23 to the B team, of course you're going to have a lot of consistency. And in Portugal, it's easy to sell to the fans that isto é o novo modelo. But o novo modelo está a resultar, meu. We suck at under 23. We suck at under 19. We suck with the B team. and we're not producing players for the A team. So what kind of fucking model do we have? You need to revisit that and say, isto não está a trabalhar, meu. This model that we thought it would work, it's not working. Because if it was working, Ruben Amorim would get players from the B team. He got 6 players now, but that's because
the only reason Marsa's there is because there's a literal gun to his head. You know?
Yeah, I know, but he just got 6 players for the last training, just because we have X amount of players injured. That's the only reason why. Is he going to play them? No. It's going to be Roxinha, e a Pedrinha, e o Coninha, e o Pedrinho. É sempre os mesmos jogadores. It's always the same players playing. So after a while, it's like, if you don't reinvent the wheel and do something different, you're going to have the same results, which is lose against Varzim, lose against Marseille. It's a good team, but we have a good enough to beat them.
Yeah.
And the way we lost, exactly. You know, you have to do something different. And that's all we're asking for Ruben Amorim. Do something different, bro. Don't always do the same things, because it's not going to work, because it hasn't been working. So you have to throw some new blood, people thirsty, want to give it all, and it can be Gaio. Gaio, he's good to play. I don't know.
Academica. I seen a fan page fucking calling for us to have respeitinho for them to bring Gaio back home to Academica so they can take him. Go ahead.
They need him, dude. They're about to get relegated again
to the 4th. They're about to meet Beira-Mar, bro, in the Distritais. A derby right there, bro.
I know. It's 2 historic teams, yeah.
Quickly, before I forget to mention, I wanna add this as well. I wanted to mention in the Casa Pia. I hope we start Marks ahead of Inácio. Let's say a backline of Coates. I won't even think of St. Just being healthy for this game. Coates, Mateus Reis, and Marsa. Not Inácio. That'd be the best.
He's enjoying the Portuguese life. I wish.
That's me too, bro. Yeah.
Very healthy.
You both came from Portugal, bro. How's that lifestyle over there?
It was great, man. If you gave me 1 million euros and then told me to do it, I'd have even more fun.
That's what I'm saying.
I would be signing shoes, giving water boy and.
Bro, a year ago, I was coming back from Portugal. I'm still fucking daydreaming about that fucking trip, bro. É só comida, putas e vinho verde, mano.
Me era só comida e vinho verde. Agora o outro não. I'm married, so no can do.
And Sporting, obviously.
And Sporting.
Yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of money, bro.
I spent a lot of money and time in and around that area.
I bought the tickets for myself and my friends. It was like 11 of us. They paid for their tickets, but I paid for my father's and my 2 kids and my wife. And then I bought a bunch of merchandise, Airbnb. When I put
I'm keeping the shop in
it was easily $1,300.
Wow. Yeah,
but we had fun. Anyway, we did have fun, but fuck, we lost.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna mention. Steph, what game did you go see? 2-0 against Chops.
We lost. I saw the 2 goals because I was on that side of the goal, and I was like,
and Steph, same with me. Last year, I spent not so much, but I spent money on my ticket. I bought a few jerseys. Went to the museum the next day. What game did I go see? The 5-1 against Ajax.
I got to see a W, though.
Yeah, at least you did.
We tried to make it an L the whole time, but it wasn't enough.
You seen the Gil Vicente game, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Anyways, guys, that was 164 in the wrap. Make sure to follow Chris there on Twitter. Steph right there on Twitter. Me right here. Give Sam a follow as well. Give us a follow right there. Sporting160_EN on Twitter. Sporting160EN on TikTok. Maybe Instagram will be resurged one day. Who knows? Probably not. But TikTok, we're going heavy. We're going hard. So yeah, give us a follow there.
Well
YouTube. It is. I'm liking it. YouTube, keep following us or keep subscribing. I think we're at 700, if I'm not mistaken. Let's try to get 300. Sam wants it before the end of the year. I don't know if we'll get it before the end of the year. Let's say before the next year, like June. 300 subscribers.
End of the season.
End of the season, exactly. So yeah, boys, been an enjoyable one. Steph, you know how much we miss you, bro. I know times are tough, but like in terms of the time scheduling and stuff, but you know we miss you, bro.
I miss you too. But it's actually good not to do the podcast. All
right, guys. We'll see you next.
When they use, I'm just going to say this.
No, my bad.
When Frederic Varandas uses the argument that our players don't make enough money, it makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
Makes me want to throw up because they make good more money than all the teams combined together, except for Porto and Benfica, of course.
Estão a subir as cotas e ainda assim, mano. Ainda assim.
Yeah. Vão abrir uma secção de croquetes.
Yeah. Olha, tenho fome, mano. Tenho fome. Anyways, arrivederci, guys. See you next week.
Let's see.
Viva Sporting.